Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Video Game Beat. My name's Rob, and here we are. We're one more week away. Well, at the time of this recording, we're like a couple days away from the Xbox Series X being shipped out to those who pre-ordered it. And then I'm about like a week, practically 6 days away from the PS5 being shipped out. And I gotta tell you guys, I'm so excited. This is such a big deal for me just because of the fact that other than the Nintendo Switch, this is the first time I am on day one for the two big guys releasing the next gen consoles. So I mean, I had it. My PS4 I got was like years later after it came out. And then obviously I got the PS4 Pro like a year after that was released. And I only owned like a pre-owned Xbox when I was younger. So for this to be like the first time that I'm getting both of the new consoles for the next gen on the days that they're released, I already got my confirmations and I am so excited. It's such a cool, like I almost feel like a little kid on Christmas because I can't wait to open up these boxes and see what do they have in store and how is it going to be to stream off of those things. Because if you guys don't know, when I stream twitch.tv/ambitious casual, when I stream off of my console. I don't have a PC setup yet. That should be coming sometime in the future. But as of right now, I've been streaming off of my consoles, and it's actually been exciting to see that. For me, I didn't know that with Xbox, you can connect any kind of camera to webcam to it. So obviously, not obviously, you don't know that. I got the Razer Kaio. So that's going to be my webcam for that one. And then I also noticed that, I don't know if this is a new thing, but you can utilize this new app for it to make banners and icons and alerts and things like that on just straight through the Xbox itself. So that makes me super excited because it's practically like a PC streaming through the Xbox. And then with PlayStation, which is what I've been streaming off of, it's practically the only console it's the only console I stream off of right now. I'm excited to see because I know that with some of the major sites, I know Phil Spencer, Jim Ryan, they contacted me. They said they accidentally set my packages to the wrong location. So it's okay. I was like, you know what, Phil, Jim, don't worry about it. It's all right. I can wait. So I didn't get those next gen consoles right on time. But I've been seeing other people posting, their reactions and actually showing off some of the UI to the PS5. And one person in particular showed off the UI where they went into the settings and then they went to camera and then they clicked on broadcast, and I could barely see a lot because they didn't really go into it all that much. But in it, along with it, because I know that with the camera, you can now, with the new PS5 camera, which I got, boom, right here. Podcast listeners, I'm holding the box to the PS5 camera. I did an unboxing on the channel. Go check it out if you want to go check out what the PS5 camera looks like. Question mark. But overall, with the new PlayStation camera and on PS5, I'm guessing almost like with the iPhone, you can create like a portrait mode through through computer learning. So it's not actual bokeh, which is like whenever you take a picture and it's like blurry in the background. So supposedly in the new PlayStation 5, you can utilize that and make it look like it's focusing on your face. And I saw a tab that said overlays, so that got me super excited because I don't know what that entails, but I'm hoping that there's just a lot more options when it comes to creating the way that your stream looks like and decorating it with overlays and alerts and things like that. So fingers crossed, I'm hoping the PS5 is cool with that and actually does that really well. I'll try and make a video with that and show off what that can do. But I'm very excited when it comes to streaming on these new consoles. So, all right, new week. This is the week before the big launches. And I gotta say, as I was getting all the news stories, I was like, there's nothing out there. Like, some of the news is cool, but I didn't want to go over and kind of just report on other people's reporting on a lot of this stuff, just because of the fact that, one, I kind of want to give my own honest opinion, and I didn't want to leave everything out, so I did get a couple of reacts or review roundups. So we'll be covering review roundups, and I just got a couple more stories to talk about that came out this week. A little bit of a slow week, guys. A little bit of a slow week, but we're going to do with it. And again, before we jump into the stories, remember the Video Game Beat is a weekly podcast that covers that week's gaming news. You can find it on youtube.com, Ambitious Casual TV, and then you can find it on all podcast services. Just search up the Video Game Beat, whatever podcast you're listening on, rate it, share it on your social medias, along with on YouTube. Hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, share it with your friends, so that way we can get that love out there. We want more people listening to the game news. And without further ado, guys, let's jump right into the stories. Story number 1, PlayStation 5 only sold online at launch. This comes straight from Kotaku's Brian Ashcraft. Okay, we got, like I said, 6 days until the release of the PlayStation 5. It's exciting. And as we all remember, when pre-orders went up, it was a mess. Even PlayStation came out and said, guys, we messed it up, and we get that. So what they are going to do is nothing. Honestly, for those who remember back in the days when it came to new console launches and you used to see those photos on the news of people camping out on the sides of stores waiting for the hour of when the store opens up to pre-order those consoles, that's no longer going to be a thing. Not in this day and age. Not in this year. Not in the year 2020, our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, and Shuhei Yoshida. This year, obviously, we've been seeing with COVID and things like that, it's getting scary for people even want to get into crowds. So I'm looking at this statement that comes straight from PlayStation, kind of as like a response to be like, hey, do not, like, they don't want to get blamed for anything. They don't want to get blamed for people being out in crowds, in lines, and be like, look, PlayStation, look what you're doing. You're making these people wait. So I'm pretty sure, they're like, let's get ahead of it. Let's get ahead of this so that way this doesn't happen. And let me read you the comment, okay? This comes straight from Sony's Sid Schumann from the PlayStation blog. In the interests of keeping our gamers, retailers, and staff safe amongst COVID-19, today we are confirming that all day of launch sales will be conducted through the online stores of our retail partners. He continues, no units will be available in store for purchase on launch day, which is November 12th or November 19th, depending on your region. Please don't plan on camping out or lining up at your local retailer on launch day in hopes of finding a PS5 console for purchase. Now, the interesting caveat to all this is if you do want a console on day one, what you got to do is you got to buy it online, and I'm pretty sure go pick it up. So do not sit out and wait in the cold or whatever it'll be at night for who knows how many hours waiting for a new console, because you're just not going to get it. The way that they're going about this is they're wanting you to be there, ready to go, pre-order it, and then show up and go pick it up. I mean, it's kind of like a cool, you give everyone a bit of a second chance, and I'm pretty sure they tried to get with all the retailers to make sure this was as clean of a rollout as possible. We'll see if that works out, because we all remember, again, like I said, the PS5 pre-order fiasco was just a mess. So I don't know if they'll be able to do that again here. We'll see. But other than that, guys, don't camp out. Stay inside. Be ready on your computers, and let's see if you might be able to get your hands on one. I know that Target, Walmart, I know Best Buy, some of them have showed that these are the times when you can get ready to pre-order one. So keep your eyes open, keep your eyes peeled, keep on social media and see if any of those retailers update anything on those fronts. So it's exciting. I can't wait. I hope you guys get some. Let me know down in the comments. Did you get one? Because I'd like to know. On to story number 2. Demon Souls character creator Revamped. This comes straight from Eurogamer's Matt Wales. Guys, there's a big deal that's going on, okay? We have a bunch of YouTube channels, or not a bunch, but we have some YouTube channels that whenever it comes to Demon Souls or any of the Souls games, they all have to deal with a lot of just the character creator. And it's usually where a lot of the comedy comes from because of the fact that the character creator is just so bad. And what you can do is just so out there. And it's weird, dude. It's really, really weird. Especially the fact that it's like they never really changed it. And by the time that they got to Sekiro, they're like, let's not even mess with this. You're just going to play as one character and that character only. So obviously we know Blue Point is the ones that are remaking the Demon Souls on the PS5. And with it comes from the PlayStation blog. They say, we've added many more customizations options than you'll remember for the PS3 game, and also worked hard to ensure that there is satisfying variety possible for those who wish to tinker with every slider. It continues, with the number of total synchronous online players in an instance increased to 6, signing out will mean so much more. And they showed off some of the photos to what the new character creator looks like, and I gotta say, guys, it is quite the revamp. Like it doesn't even look like it doesn't look like a Souls game. Like, I'm looking at the picture right now of the gentleman that they have on the Eurogamer site, and this guy, his skin color is like realistic. You can see the pores. He's got dreads going back, and so it just like it looks good. It looks way too good. Way too good in the fact that I even thought to myself, what kind of pressure does this even put on people like FromSoft? When it comes to them making the new game Elden Ring, we don't know if you create a character in that. For all we know, it could be just one character that you're playing. But going forward in that regard, what does that mean for FromSoft when it comes to making another Souls-like game? When it comes to making Bloodborne 2? Is FromSoft even going to make Bloodborne 2? And if they do they feel the pressure coming from Blue Point? Like, man, they really are doing such a good job with this remake. We got to step it up and actually look just as good or maybe even better. Or is Bloodborne 2 going to be made by somebody else? Like Blue Point. That'd be pretty cool. Not going to lie. And honestly, a lot of people have been saying this. Sony needs to acquire Blue Point and just lock them in and then have them either continue on the remakes or kind of create new content for them. And if they're able to knock this Demon Souls remake out of the water, we'll see when the game comes out. And I'll let you guys know first here on the Video Game Beat. If they're able to do such a good job with the remake here, we can see how they'll do and transferring other skills from this and everything that they learned from this to possibly even making a Bloodborne 2. So keep your eyes peeled. I'm very excited about this. Let me know what you guys think about the new character creator on Demon Souls. Does it look better? Do you like it? Do you wish you can go back to the janky way of making characters in Dark Souls, Demon Souls, Bloodborne? Let me know down in the comments below. Story number 3. This is a weird one. Really, 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 really weird one. This comes from IGN's Wesley LeBlanc. GameStop cancels employee contest to earn extra Black Friday work hours. Guys, I don't know who this passed in the rankings of those who release this information to the employees, but who thought this was such a good idea, guys? This comes from the article, GameStop has reportedly canceled a company-wide contest that asked employees to perform a synchronized TikTok dance in exchange for prizes like extra work hours on Black Friday. Originally reported by The Gamer, news broke on November 3rd that GameStop had announced a TikTok competition across its stores that tasked employees with performing a synchronized dance with their coworkers in exchange for a prize. The prize being either an Amazon Echo 8, an Amazon Echo Auto, or $100 Visa gift card and 10 extra hours of work on a Black Friday. Just stop and take that in. I know that GameStop has been in the weeds. They've been really struggling, and I know they've been trying their best to kind of stay together, stay afloat during especially COVID and quarantine and, wanting to keep their employees involved and not having to lay people off and staying relevant in this new digital age. And we saw recently that that deal that went down with Microsoft and GameStop, where it comes to kind of promoting the Xbox consoles, and every single console that they sell in store, GameStop will earn a little bit in the back end on any digital sales made off of that Xbox that was sold in store at GameStop. And so far it looks like they're trying their best to keep afloat. But when it comes to things like this and throwing a challenge to your employees, like, hey, go make a TikTok, and if you do a good job, we'll probably give you some more hours for Black Friday. Does that make any sense? That kind of just blows my mind. And unfortunately, I don't know who in the upper ranks did not see this and think, guys, this is not a good idea. Let's just scrap that. So honestly, I'm glad that they kind of canceled it. I'm hoping that they do something for their employees in the long run. But man, if anything, I don't even feel bad for GameStop. I feel bad for the employees. I wonder how many of them actually even made a TikTok in hopes of getting some of these benefits, because you know that some of them do need extra hours, and to kind of jingle it in front of their face, kind of like, hey, here's the extra hours, but you got to do something to get that, like dance for us on a TikTok. It's kind of dumb. So I'm hoping GameStop does better. They need to get on a newer trajectory. And if they want to stay relevant, this is not the way to stay relevant. And it's also not a good idea to do that to your employees. So GameStop, be better. And let's just hope that if they can make it, they can make it. If not, well, we'll see. Story number 4 comes from Eurogamer Again's Robert Purchase. This is a weird one, guys. So Bethesda leaks Starfield, or Bethesda leaks an image that confirms some leaked images of Starfield that people didn't know were real or not. It's a weird story, man. So this comes, like I said, from Eurogamer. The story goes as this, okay? And this is what Robert Purchase writes. He says, here's a dilemma. Your boss is getting kind of a lifetime achievement award, and you've been asked to contribute to a video montage bigging them up. Shouldn't be hard, but what do you wear? That's the issue. Go smart, not too formal. These are video games we're talking about. But you want to keep some kind of professionalism about you. You are the managing director of Bethesda Game Studios after all. Got it. You go on brand. You got that t-shirt, remember? Phil Spencer would love it. He's also all about a well-placed tee. It's a win-win. You can look professional while promoting your new game, Starfield, at the same time. Bingo, what could possibly go wrong? And unfortunately, something did go wrong. When they put on the shirt and it showed up in front on the video, on the sleeve of the shirt, unfortunately shows a symbol. And that symbol, I'm guessing, was also on the side of an astronaut in a suit kind of looking thing outfit from these leaked photos that no one knew if they were Starfield or not. So these images leaked. People were not sure. Are these official? We don't know that. But all we know is that on the side of the astronaut's gear was this logo. And without obviously Bethesda confirming anything or not, that creator wears the Starfield shirt. Obviously, he had no bad intentions behind it. I'm pretty sure he just wanted to put the shirt on and just be like, yo, here's my Starfield shirt. Remember, guys, we're making Starfield, cool. But unfortunately, there's another piece of information on that shirt that they have not actually even gone into depth about at all, because they haven't given much information at all about this game. And that is the symbol on the sleeve. And that symbol on the sleeve matches the same symbol on the sleeve of this astronaut in those leaked images and confirms, yes, these are actually Starfield images. And I gotta say, guys, for one, but you know what, before I say this, why don't I feel bad for the guy? I'm pretty sure, like, with all this stuff that's going around now, he's probably like, great. Should have worn the blue shirt I wanted to wear. Or that's blue. Should have worn my black shirt. But, it's not his fault. He couldn't have, like, noticed that. It must have been, like, a quick thing. And you don't think too much about it. But the one thing that I do have a problem with is this. These images that have been leaked, I'm not quite sure these images even look that good. I'm pretty sure it's probably like an early build of the game. I want to give him that benefit of the doubt. But man, does this game look rough. And again, we don't know what state the game is in when these leaked images were released. But for all I know, they said that they updated the engine to make the game look better, run better, and it just does not look that good. I'm looking at this image of the astronaut looking at the ship, and you can see what could only be like what, maybe outer space in the background, and I don't see no stars. The reflections off of this, I don't know what this is, this building, this space building, looks very dull. And it just, the shadowing looks really weird. Now, look, I'm not a game creator, so who am I to even say anything? But I just gotta say, guys, like, it just doesn't look that good. Along with the second one where it shows the character in front of like this, looks like a hatch, and he's in front of this handle that I'm pretty sure you probably pull down to open the hatch, but it still doesn't look good. And I'm hoping that the only reason why it looks like this is because it's obviously an early build, and I'm hoping it looks better in the long run or in the end. We'll see. But again, I feel bad for this guy at Mr. DC Deacon, and I'm hoping that he's doing okay. And these leaked images, man, I hope they do better on this game, because I'm not the biggest fan when it comes to anything Bethesda, kind of like Fallout or Skyrim. So I've never really liked those games at all. I played them, but never really enjoyed them. I think they're boring. But I'm hoping that the game can actually look better. I don't know. I have this big argument when it comes to the Bethesda games that they're such a huge company, and why can't they make their games look good? I don't think they look good at all. Fallout 4 looks horrible. The same year that Fallout 4 came out, The Witcher 3 came out. And Witcher 3 looks like 1,000 times better than Fallout 4. So, I don't know. Like I said, I hope they do better. All right, and then on to our last roundup. And this is the review roundup, guys. So, we got a couple bits of new reviews on a couple games. I picked out a couple. Or a few. 3 of them. Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales on Metacritic has a Metascore of 85, and it's doing well so far. I'm seeing that a lot of people are saying a lot of that it's a cool iteration on the character, and then some people are saying it kind of feels like samey and it seems a little too short. So we'll see about that. I mean, again, I'm not going to tell you exactly what I feel about it yet because I don't have the game, but once it comes out, I'll let you guys know right here. So Spider-Man Miles Morales, 85. We've got Astro's Playroom sitting at a 82. Remember, this is the game from Japan Studio. What they're doing is this is kind of like a tech demo, kind of showing you exactly how the controller works a bit, but it's also like, based on how people are talking about it, it is like its own game. It's like a small mini game, almost like Astro's what's it called? Rescue Mission, the VR game. It's like that, smaller, and it's just kind of shows you the mechanics of the new controller, the DualSense, and its triggers and the haptic feedback and things like that. But the fact that it's sitting at an 82 is impressive, and I think it shows that Japan Studio has something here with Astro, and I think they know that. I mean, obviously they made Rescue Mission, and I think they know that with Astro's Playroom, and I'm hoping that as just like they did with Little Big Planet by making Sackboy's Big Adventure, I'm hoping they can do the same thing with Astro, and I want them to kind of lean into that Mario kind of area of video games to be like a good competitor to Nintendo, because I think they can do that based off of what I've seen on Playroom. I've played Rescue Mission, and I haven't played, obviously, Sackboy yet. But based off everything that I see, it looks like they're going in that direction. And I want them to continue doing that, so that way they can bring this new experience that obviously shows off the catalog of PlayStation and kind of shows like a variety of games that they have underneath their belt. So moving on, we've got Yakuza Like a Dragon sitting at 84. I never played any of the Yakuza games, unfortunately. This one does look interesting, but would I jump into it? Not really. It's probably going to be like the last game that I probably will try out, because there's just so much stuff coming out on the day of release. So Yakuza is going to be on the back burner. I might go back and check it out, but I'm not sure yet. But like I said, Yakuza is sitting at an 84. And the last two stories that I got right here, guys, is the review roundups for the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5. First off, we're starting with the Xbox Series X. And so it's kind of weird because I don't know why Metacritic doesn't have like a average score on here. But I kind of want to go and look up a couple stories, or not stories, but small paragraphs that came from some of the news sites and gave their inputs on what they thought of the consoles themselves. So I'm right here on the Xbox Series X, and I'm trying to look for a good one. The one that's kind of a bit more... I'm not going to do like CNBC. Why would I do that? They're not really known for that kind of stuff. Engadget. Here we go. Engadget, obviously well known for a lot of technology, tech kind of thing. So this comes from Devendra Hardwar from Engadget. They gave it an 87. The Xbox Series X is Microsoft's ultimate gaming console with the ability to deliver 4K games at 60 frames per second and beyond. It's everything we want in a generation, in a next generation system. The only problem is that it's launching without many compelling games. Guys, remember this console is... A lot of the games that were planned for it have been pushed. I remember the big one was supposed to be Halo. That was supposed to be coming out alongside with this console. That's pushed. So many other games have been pushed, and it's just standing alone, kind of leaning on the in hopes that the third party games can hopefully push this until next year and hold people over so they get that first party exclusive taste that they've been waiting for. But everything that I've been seeing about the Xbox Series X has been positive. It's very fast, and I've been seeing some of the specs in regards to that, showing off that it is actually probably a little faster than the PS5 and some of the load times. And so it's impressive. And I don't know if I said this before on the show, but I am planning on making the Series X my third party console, along with the Xbox first parties. But everything else I'm going to try and play on Series X. Only thing on PlayStation will be first parties, or anything that's exclusive to that console. So we'll see. I'm really excited to jump in and see what it actually has to offer. One more review for the Xbox Series X and S. It comes from Alex Krantz from Gizmodo. If you're going to buy one Xbox, save up that extra $200 and get the $500 Xbox Series X, because this thing is lovely. While Sony has put its energy toward a new controller with fancy triggers and improved haptics for its PlayStation 5, Microsoft is focused on something that feels practically Apple in its ease of use. In fact, there are only two places Sony can pull ahead and feel like the better console buy: exclusive games and the market they're sold on. And we're moving on to the PlayStation 5 console Metacritic. Again, there is no like average score, but I'm going to find a couple that we can talk about here and see what people have said about these consoles so far. This is kind of coming fresh because the moment I jumped on was when I was looking at last minute articles, and some things still have not been updated on the Metacritic. So I had to refresh, and I'm looking at it for the first time here, as well as talking it with you guys. So I'm trying to look at someone. Here we go. We got another Engadget one right here from Devendra Hardwar. Give it an 87. They say, with the PS5, Sony has managed to deliver a truly next-generation console, even if it went a bit overboard on the design. Its controller is genuinely innovative, and it actually has a bunch of new games you'll want to play. But I won't say that Sony has won the next-gen war just yet. Maybe just the launch battle. The PS5 is, and some have been saying that it is launching with what could be the best series, or not best series, the best launch titles ever. You've got Spider-Man Miles Morales, you've got Demon's Souls, you've got Sackboy, you've got Astro's Playroom. I know that's not technically a huge game, but it is something. It is a game that you can play. And so with all these games, like, Sony's got games behind it. It's got games propelling it. And so I guess we just have to wait and see if that can actually keep them going, and if that momentum can actually keep them going forward. Let's try to find another story here. We've got, let's see, looking. This comes from The Verge. Andrew Webster says, physically, the PS5 is a brash, intimidating piece of hardware, one that is clearly meant to signal a major shift, but underneath, its changes are much more subtle. at least right now. This isn't the move from SD to HD or watching Mario explore a 3D space for the first time. Instead, it's a series of smaller, though still important shifts, like faster speeds and a more immersive controller, which all add up to a markedly better experience compared to the PS4 by every conceivable metric, aside from the space it takes up. I can't tell you what the future holds, but right now the PS5 is a great piece of hardware. I want to say that with some of the things I've been hearing people talk about, the controller is one thing that people are very impressed of. And no one really knew exactly if that was either going to be kind of like a gimmick, kind of like that thing that they just want to be like, hey, check out this cool thing that we have that Xbox doesn't have. And maybe that'll buy the customer in it. But again, we're not sure if all third parties are going to utilize the DualSense. But we do know that first party developers will be doing that. I mean, they have to. They're owned by PlayStation. PlayStation's going to want to push that. And everyone that's been talking about it so far has been just so amazed by how well that controller does it, how it does the haptics, how it does the triggers, that it's not a gimmick. They actually have something on their hands that is very, very interesting. And so that's something that I'm actually the most excited for when it comes to the PS5. Yes, the load times are cool. Yeah, better fidelity here and there is great. Yeah, but the DualSense is such a very intriguing piece of hardware that I could not have seen PlayStation doing. We knew, I think it was kind of a given that everyone thought they're going to be making a DualShock 5 with maybe a better rumble system inside of it. But for them to actually go a step further and reimagine the controller, I can only picture this being such a big deal when it comes to your experience playing these games that Xbox has got to be already in the room thinking, okay, how do we do this to our own controllers? Like, I'm pretty sure they're already looking into how to renovate their own controllers. Is that, and I'm not sure. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, what, do they actually care about that? We don't know. They could just leave that off, but they have to. Whenever things are said and done, and we're with these consoles for about maybe a good 6 months, we'll look back and see, is this DualSense actually really that cool? Do I really use it, or am I going to be turning it off? But you guys can let me know what you think about that down in the comments down below. And that is the end of the show, guys. Thank you for listening and watching the Video Game Beat. Remember, it is a weekly podcast, releases every Saturday, hopefully. Sometimes it might be later. Sometimes it might not be. On any podcast and any podcast service and on YouTube. And don't forget, subscribe, follow, hit the thumbs up button, share with your friends. You can follow the channel on social media at Ambitious Casual. That's on Twitter and Instagram. And you can follow the channel on Twitch at Ambitious Casual. I'm probably streaming right now at the moment you're watching this video. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. You might want to go double check and make sure. And while you're there, you might want to follow because you probably want to be reminded whenever I go live. Guys, we're almost there. A couple days more and we are at the release of these new consoles. So with these new consoles and me, I'm trying to prepare all these videos or these videos I have planned that I want to release. It's kind of probably going to slow down a little bit of the gameplay videos on the YouTube channel. I've been grabbing some of the bits from the Twitch channel and putting them onto the YouTube channel, but I'm going to be doing an unboxing for the Series X. I'm going to be doing an unboxing for the PlayStation 5 and want to be showing off a bits of the UI here or there regarding the systems themselves. So just hold back and be patient in regards to the video games, but other things, be excited for next week, guys. I have a lot more content that I have planned that I'm going to show you guys, and I'm excited as well. But until next time, peace out, keep playing those games, and I'll see you next week, okay?